Hello and welcome to episode 5 of Masters in Marketing. We have another fantastic guest in the house. We got Dave Carroll with Dope Marketing. My man, Dave, what is going on?
Not much, Nick. Not much, man. Wrapping
Man,
the year up.
towards the end of the year, man, you're wrapping up the year. You're thinking about next year, right? And everyone's like, oh, you get the holiday time. It almost makes you even busier. You know what I mean? Now you're trying to get more done in less days.
For some reason this year, daylight savings hit harder. We
all man.
I have not seen more people in my 36 years on this earth talk about. So, man, I checked my clock at midnight and it was 5 p.m. Like,
dude, just rough.
Heavy. It's heavy this year.
Rough, man. Yeah, I felt it. I usually don't feel it. This year I felt it. I don't know what it was, man. But no, we're busy. We're making it happen. And with everything going on, I'll take busy. Busy is good, right? And the whole goal of dope marketing and everything you guys got going on there is how can we make sure that these roofing contractors are staying busy, right? You guys are doing some awesome things now. So you actually started with line share maintenance, right? So was that your first business?
First business ever. I was 25 years old. It took me and 4 of my knucklehead buddies to carry a 24-foot ladder out of Home Depot. If you know about carrying a 24-foot ladder, that is not a 5-man job. That's what no clue what we were doing.
Yeah.
Started it was a power washing, window cleaning, gutter cleaning company. We've since then gotten into Christmas lights.
Okay.
That business it's our 12th year in business this year. I've been phased out of that company for about 5 years, to the point where I don't know the jobs that go. I don't know the names of the people that work for us. Like if they need a little spike, we assist with some of the, the campaigns, the strategy, the same type of stuff we do for contractors. But yeah, that was my first company and learned some lessons, got some lumps, some scars, learned some stuff that got us in the right direction, but very fortunate and blessed to kind of have that company. We cap out with 6 crews in the field, all in-house.
Nice.
So I learned about the roofing industry as we've kind of grown in the past 2 years. Very similar business mentality and running. Biggest difference between my company and a roofing company, everyone works for us. We don't have.
Yeah. And you probably have more transactions too, if I had to guess, right? Than
lower ticket for sure. So gutter like $200, Christmas lights, we just did Dmitry Lipinski's Christmas lights, actually.
Oh, did you? I saw that, actually. It was looking good, man.
No, he was a little above an average ticket, but average ticket's $1,500, $2,000. Goes high, 4,000 or 5,000, something like that. That's going to be closest to roofing, but wash siding, it's $500-$600.
Right.
$200. We're servicing people more times during the year. So anyone that does a lot more retail, repair work, or leads, we've seen some pretty dope stuff this year with different offers, right? We try to educate people dude, if you're talking about free inspection, we got some ideas for you. We don't want to talk about inspections anymore. We've had some great success this year with gutter cleaning. Guys adding gutter cleaning as an offer. You pay a contractor $100, throw $100 at a lead cost at a gutter cleaning and get on their roof. Now you're doing a roof inspection. Gutter guard upgrade.
Gutter cleaning, I like gutter cleaning.
It's stuff, dude. We had a couple clients in the Midwest and the Northeast that just were murdering it with that gutter cleaning offer.
And then are you hitting in the fall, or when you're hitting that gutter cleaning type?
Yeah, so it's timed, right? Like the fall and the spring. Not many people are cleaning their gutters in the summer, but I mean, you just gotta, our job as business owners, as marketers, we got to keep up with best practices. What's going on currently, right? And if you're in, Iowa and you've got a couple weeks where it's really rainy, maybe you do want to run a gutter cleaning offer in the middle. Having something prepared, strategy. It's what you and I were kind of talking about before. Dude, right now, as busy as we are, we got to take accountability for the planning, because we all know you got to take off January. February is kind of slow. You're getting back. You get into that madness, that insanity. They're repeating the same behavior but expecting a different result. So even as busy as we are wrapping the year up right now for us, or even looking at clients, talking to peers, whatever, really trying to focus on where were you heavy in this year? Where can you focus next year, and what boxes need to be checked for a strategy? So you're not starting in February, starting in March, and kind of getting back to that just busy shit. You for it beforehand, so you have a little bit more of an agenda as opposed to just going back to the madness.
So slowing down, right? Slowing down a little bit, right? And taking the time to build some kind of strategy and game plan. Because we all know it, no matter how great business is going, right? If you don't take that time to strategize, it's going to slow down. And then you're going to be like, oh man, now I got to put a plan together. So,
and it's that work. It's the work, to your point, going through that slow time, dude. We have the most simple exercise. I'll drop a little gem here. Like, if you simply take, doesn't matter what CRM you use, it's your agency's CRM, it's AccuLinks, Job Nimbus, RoofLink, Job Progress, whatever your flavor of the month is that you're using in your business, you go in and you download every job you did this year and every you did this year. 2 spreadsheets you got. You got your leads, you got your jobs. You take that spreadsheet, you highlight the whole thing, and you sort it by zip code. So now all the zip codes are in a row. You go and count how many jobs you did on one spreadsheet, how many leads you did in another spreadsheet per zip code. Take your top 5. That's where you're focusing your attention, going back to this. You did something right there. Your numbers were working, your marketing was working, something there was working. What does DOPE stand for? Outside of the fact I say it 4 times in each sentence, data on previous engagement. That's what DOPE is. If you can take the data that you have in your business, look at what you did right. Your marketing company that you hire or you partner with, or the person you hire internally to run your marketing, their job isn't always coming up with good ideas. It's having a temperature of what's going correctly. There's a certain amount of people that are doing something. How do we get our message in front of more people in that geographic area, that demographic profile, that space? You've got a person, they're doing shit that you want them to do. Let's focus geographically on what they're doing and spend some of those same dollars that were going elsewhere on getting more people to do the same thing that was already working.
The power of data. One thing I liked when we were talking about the gutter cleaning offer. If you're slow, right, you're looking for that opportunity to get on the roof, right? It's great. It's marketing dollars, basically, right? It's not going to be a heavy revenue driver for you, but you're also building that customer list too, right? And
the leads you'd pay for. There's 100 companies that you could call right now and pay them for leads. And depending on your company's strategy, you might have the opportunity to just generate them yourself.
Yeah. I mean, that's such a great opportunity. So yeah, the power, I mean, what are you seeing now in terms of the power of data, right? I mean, how big, I mean, it's everything right now when you're looking at marketing and the doors that it opens.
Dude, so that's something I don't talk about a lot, Nick. So I've owned a data company for 9 years. When I started my cleaning company, the next business I started 4 years or 3 years later was a data business. We aggregate commercial and residential lists and we resell them. Corniest analogy, dude, it's drug dealing and we're Pablo.
Yeah, basically, data. Right?
Yeah, it's like it's the most relative thing in the world. And so like when you buy data, how many people touch it before you get it? That's the quality of your data. Like have fun, make up the analogies, whatever. But it's like, how important is data in your business? Dude, it's everything, and you have different phases. Some people watching this, you just started your business last year. You just wrapped up your 3rd year. Maybe you're in your 10th year and you're already doing tens of millions of dollars. Whatever the case is, you started your business probably because you either understood roofing, you sold roofing, your family was in roofing. Like you didn't just wake up yesterday and say, out of everything I can do in the world, I'm going to start a roofing company. That'd be kind of painful.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
For some reason you got into this, whether it was last year, 3 years ago, whatever. Depending on how much data you have, even if you only did a year, that exercise I just explained would work. You could have done 10 roofs last year. And if you did 4 in one zip code, 2 in one, and 1 in the other ones, focus on where you did the 4 and look at what you were doing.
Exactly.
That, go higher. These very relative exercises. And so the importance of data is it's that Tony Robbins line, Nick. It's success leaves clues. You want to look at the success you've had in your business and what you're doing. One of my record-breaking lines or whatever is an entrepreneur has 5 fingers on their hand for a reason. You got 4 things that you're doing that are working, and that 5th thing is disposable. You're replacing it. You're adding something else, and maybe that becomes the 2nd thing. And so when you look at something in your process of lead generation, maybe you have a company you're paying for something. Maybe you do some emails, you do some Facebook, you do some door knocking, you do some whatever it is. You just want to be able to look at where the results are coming from. And it's not always like only one thing is working, but you have a temperature. It could be referrals. Like you have a gauge on what you're doing. Simply identify using the data in your business. The data that you care about is what jobs did I do? What leads did I get? If you can look at the leads you got and understand and compare that to the jobs, what are you doing? Right?
Yeah.
It needs to convert better in an area. This could be commercial. This could be residential. This could be anything. If you can truly identify in the data in your business, simply what's working correctly, spend your time right now focusing on identifying that shit, but then coming up with a plan. It's one thing to know your data. It's another thing to create a plan that happens without you being involved so that you're putting some pressure on that data, grabbing something from and doing it from the results. You can have a math equation, but if you don't take the results of that math equation and go put it to you, no point in doing it.
No, I love that. I mean, pretty much everything, if I was starting a roofing company, everything that I was doing on a marketing standpoint, doesn't matter if it's traditional or if it's digital, would be based on data, right? So I would either have my customer list running on something or I'd be buying lists of people that I want to be my customers, and everything would go through that.
Yep. And take it further, Nick, like what's a storm swath? It's data. You can go on to all the, there's my hail trace, hail recon, all the tools or whatever.
Yep.
You can go on. If I just started a roofing company yesterday, I would go buy a storm swath in my area from this year, focus some attention, take my 5 fingers, try some different shit, track them, call tracking number, QR code, your marketing company, your internal person can handle that for you. Just be able to identify what's working and turn the throttles up and down based on find an area that got smoked or the company you used to work for was heavy there, or you knew that your cousin, whatever your data is. Started yesterday, started 10 years. Maybe you're at an advantage. We've talked about the new guys. Maybe you've been in business for 5 years and you can see 2017, you had a shitty year. 2018, you had a good year. 2019, it dipped a little. 2020, it was this. Look at those jobs and just where you're building. The predictability is there. It doesn't need to always be old stuff, but obviously like Dallas is different than Denver, is different from San Diego, is different from Minneapolis, is different from Florida. You're the expert in your market. A marketing guy could make up a bunch of shit and sound good. In your area, you want to get into the gated communities. Do you have a guy that on your team that used to sell HVAC and he uses that as the in route of the conversation, pointing out that their HVAC unit's old, so the homeowner laughs and he gets on the roof? The ammo you have in your business. Use that fucking data, highlight that stuff. And then just your job right now going into Q1, it's strategy. I get that we all want to take off and go to wherever, Cancun, Florida. You just made a bunch of dough. You worked hell 16 hours a day, but you still got to look at, like, we had a sales meeting about this last week. Your business is not a light switch. Don't just turn shit. Hey, Dave, I'm taking off for winter. I want to cancel your services for 3 months. It's like, it doesn't work like that. Like,
dude.
I get that you might not need to pay some marketing company's top package during the months that you're not working, but any reasonable business has a strategy, a freeze plan, a seasonal, a something. I only speak from experience. Do you think I have AdWords running for my cleaning company in January in Minnesota? Probably not. Are there things that we're doing with property managers, hotel managers, looking at strategy, bigger jobs, maybe putting some feelers out in gated communities about ice dam removal, just getting a touch, something.
Dude, it's momentum, man, right? If you just take off, now you got to come back, get the momentum going, and then as soon as you get it going, you stop again, keep the ball rolling.
We put an analogy to it. So for anyone, I know it happens to you guys in Colorado. We get it in Minnesota. I get Texas and Florida. You might not totally understand this, but you got family up here. If you got a car and you're in January or February in Minnesota and you leave it outside overnight and you go outside to start it, imagine the experience. Now imagine you didn't start that car for a week. What about a month? And it's like, I'm going to go back. Smells like cigarettes. It stinks in here. It's freezing. It's not.
It starts blowing cold air at you.
When if you just walked outside, hit that auto start in the morning, go run out, start it, warm it up. Think of the experience you're getting into when you start your day. If you just prep it a little bit. And so we look at, this corny winter analogy. Go on a freeze plan, whether it's with your SEO, your outbound, your data, your guys, like we got this thing. So we got a list of people that Nick, we talked about this on our last call. I get a list of people every day that bought a home yesterday. I know Nick sold the home to Dave at 123 Main Street. They bought it for this much, the bank that sold it, and what the loan was for. We actually know the equity the day after they buy the property. Even if you were a roofer that doesn't care much about a new homeowner, but you were maybe thinking about getting into solar, or you've heard some ideas and you wanted to get more into retail, to do your own lead gen, to be doing repairs, to be doing small, maybe you want to get into more commercial and you're getting in front of property managers doing like that punch list work, that type. Wouldn't it benefit to have a list of people that bought a home in your service area over the months where you're closed so you can hit them in the spring and go, Nick, you bought a house in Denver. Welcome to the neighborhood. We're the vendor for maintenance, for solar, for whatever. Let us know if you need something. And you just had that introduction going. You're not spending thousands of dollars. You're not going crazy, but you're starting the car every morning. You got something moving while you're down in Florida, doing your thing, whatever, taking the winter off. But it's not this pause. It's not this like complete stop. You're still maintaining what's going on, even if it's just from a strategy standpoint. Throw the new home buyers out the window. Fit for some people. If you're just laying out, I knew I needed to order some stuff, or I wanted my Facebook ads to look like my yard signs, to look like my door hangers, to look like my business cards, or I plan on growing this year. I'm going to hire new salespeople, and I'd love to have a plan of, I got a salesperson kit. When they come onto our business, they get their polos, their hats, their t-shirts, their logo, their business cards, their door hangers, their whatever. And you put that plan together. So instead of trying to figure that shit out in March and you're busy,
when you're not,
and it's crazy. It's added that list of some shit that doesn't get done all year. That's another example of
think about all the hiccups, think about all the headaches, right? Think about all the issues you had throughout your business, right? That you said, hey, I'm going to get to later, that you never get to the B list, to the C list, and then it never gets done, but it's still sitting there. Go knock all those out, make your life a little bit easier coming in, right, into the busy season for the next year. So I did want to add, so first off, the new home buyer strategy there, right? So doing some kind of welcoming, it's all about the approach with it, saying, hey, welcome to the neighborhood. We'd love to give you, this special. I think that is a great idea. How have you been seeing, so you're really focusing on the direct mail side of things.
Yeah.
How have people been, using your services, and how have they been kind of multi-layering it? Have you seen people kind of layering it up with other strategies?
100%, Nick. So like, we look at our job at Dope Marketing like, dude, you got 100 problems during the day. We fix 4 of them perfectly. Data, design, automation, and direct mail. If we can look at, whether you go through like a guy like Joe Hughes, you go through his program, you're going to run it internally, or the other side, maybe you hire an agency for your digital, for your Google, for your Facebook, for all that type of stuff. We like to complement what's going on currently in a business. I promise, I'm an idea guy. Get on a strategy session with me. I'll come up with 100 things that you could do for your business. That's not where we start. We try to look at, what are you doing right now? We got a set of questions. Are you sending mail to the neighbors of a job when you get a job approved or completed or scheduled or paid? Are you doing that right now or no? We check that box. Are you sending postcards to the visitors of your website? No, you're not. Cool. We check that box. Do new home buyers in your area know about your business the day after they move in? No, great. We check that box. But if you need a full rebranding, redesign, I got 10 in-house designers, not some offshore. We hire a monthly thing. No, there are employees that can come in. You don't like your logo, you want to redo it. You had one flyer that some local company did for you, but nothing else in your business. We can standardize all that stuff and get it better. But we can also look at, if you got great social media ads running that you're getting results from, give us the image. I'll turn it into a series of postcards that go out 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, and drip on them. So when you leave a door hanger, you leave your business card, they see your truck wrap, they see your Facebook ads, they see your boom. We look exactly the same.
Consistency, right? Consistency, right? Push that.
I tell this story, Nick. So like Nick and Dave are in a cul-de-sac, and you look at we're gonna go buy the lawnmower at Home Depot. We go to Home Depot, we look at the lawnmower, we don't buy the lawnmower. We're leaving Home Depot. We see the big sign in the parking lot. Check 1. We're driving out of the parking lot. We get on the freeway. We see the billboard. Check 2. We get home. There's a ball of newspaper rolling around. It's got the Home Depot ad. Check 3. We check our mailbox. We get a postcard. We look. There's from Home Depot. Check 4. We turn on the TV at home. Home Depot ad for the lawnmower. Check 5. I get on my cell phone, and that lawnmower is following me around on the internet. Check 6. What happened?
Boom. Bye.
I trust you. You got me. I trust. It used to take a $10 million budget to do that shit. You can do that now in any market for less than $1,000. Get that exact same feeling, that exact same impression. So if you take that exercise that we put together of going to your CRM, download your list. Where's the zip code? Let's get the zip code. Let's look at the people you did jobs for. Let's make sure they're not on the list, but everyone just like them is. And let's send direct mail every 3 weeks to those people and dial that shit in. And then anything else you need printed, that door hanger, that flyer, that business card, that yard sign, that we're going to design it so it all looks the same, whether that's just like your ads that are currently running, or you want to start from scratch. Here's your pattern folder. This works for residential. This works for commercial. It's all right. Our job is holding you accountable for finding the data that's already working and laying out that process so you can create that trust like Home Depot. Hands off. We have a tool where you can get on, and we got a bunch of cool shit we can do that you can do manually. We start our relationship with any business with automation. We want to put stuff that can happen. You're already running your business. Let us check these boxes. That's really our approach, or where we get into it with dope marketing.
So with a direct mail campaign, is sending one piece, is that a campaign, or is it when you're doing a direct mail approach, what's the proper way to go about it in terms of frequency, touch points, and stuff like that?
So here's the perfect strategy for a roofer. You want to identify a neighborhood. It's expiring insurance from last year. You got a date on that area. It just got hit with hail. You found a little honey hole. You're going after the Cedar Shake Da Vinci. Whatever it is, you got an area. You're going to get on with dope marketing. You're going to get on our map tool. You're going to draw a shape. You're going to send mail in that area. First thing, hey, what up? Free gutter cleaning, gutter guard upgrade. We specialize in this type of service. You have a storm day. We got all the templates, all the stuff. We start there, draw a shape, send to an area. The campaign strategy is you're going to send a postcard to that neighborhood once a month with that offer there. You're warming it up because you're running ads there. You're knocking, you're driving through, you're doing bids. We're handing the direct mail side for the first touch. Top of funnel, right? You have no leads there yet. We're going to help you hit it. You get it. You get a job. You get a lead. Nick's roofing company sends Dave the guy out. They got a lead from a postcard, a Facebook ad where they're hitting whatever. I go knock the door. What up? Get on the roof. Approved. We set up an automation. The nearest 50 neighbors, single family homes, no multifamily, no renter, they get a postcard. We just got your neighbor approved for a roof. If we're talking, boom, schedule. 50 postcards go out the next day to that house. So you drew the shape, got a lead, got to the door, knocked it, got approved, postcards go out. Neighbors are now educated. Man, I saw that guy at the gas station. I saw the ads. I saw the billboard. Now I got a postcard. They're working in my neighborhood. Starting to trust this. Now you move the job from approved. You got a date. It's scheduled. Another 50 postcards go out. Pardon the noise. Pardon the dust. We're in the area working right now. Picture of your truck. Dave standing in front of it with his arms crossed. A build going on behind him on the postcard with a QR code. Get a free, we're in your neighborhood. Get a free gutter cleaning if you hit me up right now, today. Boom. Boom. They're seeing us. We're yelling at them. They're getting a couple postcards. Boom. Now you're getting leads. And all this is automated. You didn't do shit. It's dialed in. It's happening. While people are going to your website, we got our dope pixel for any of you guys who haven't heard about it. We install a little piece of code on your website that we're grabbing 25 to 40% of your anonymous website visitors. The people that go there. They don't fill out a form. They leave. They're going somewhere, whatever. Pull your phone out. Open up Safari. Look at how many pages you got that were open that you didn't do what you thought you were going to do. We're grabbing those people. We're sending them a postcard. They fall right into that funnel. A couple of them become a lead. They're getting the drip. They're getting the drip. The last thing, when you mark that job paid, can we all say, Hey, I love reviews. I live off reviews. I want more reviews. When you mark that job paid, postcard goes out, big fat QR code. Thank you, Dave's Roofing. We're a local business. We live off reviews. If you had a good experience, scan this QR code. We'll connect that to your Google, your review management software. We handle all that. If you had a bad experience, I'm the owner. Here's my cell phone. Call me.
Ooh,
So you
I like
can
that.
reverse the bad review, point them to the good review. So now what happened? You targeted an area. You got some leads. We implemented the punctuation on your cross-channel marketing. You were already going to knock. You were already going to do Facebook. We put something in their hands they can touch with those posts. Compliment looks like your ads. Job gets approved. Boom. We got you approved. Job gets scheduled. Boom. Pardon the dust. Pardon the noise. We're here. Job gets paid. Boom. Review. We got you jobs. We told the neighbors. We reinforced it with the neighbors. We got your reviews. That's what we do at Dope Market.
You know, you mentioned QR codes on the reviews.
Necessary.
I mean, what a comeback, dude, with the QR codes. What happened there? What happened there, man?
10 years ago, I'm on a vending machine and it'd be like, scan this thing. Be like, I'm going to download an app to scan this thing to do some shit I don't understand. And now my 75-year-old mother could walk into a restaurant, scan a QR code, and go through them live on the website.
It's unbelievable, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, COVID brought it back, man. COVID brought it back for sure. You know, you're getting me hyped up, man, on direct mail. And I'll be honest, man. I really wasn't super interested in learning about direct mail until I heard some of the stuff that you guys were doing. You know, and it's I've heard nothing but good things in terms of the results. You know, I think it's all about the spin that you put on it, right? So it's a traditional strategy that is leveled up, if you will, or enhanced with digital.
Here's the fascinating thing, Nick. One, thank you. Like we want to get people. Direct mail is not going anywhere. The post office has been running in a deficit for 100 years. They're not going to close it. Your mail is not going to stop.
Yeah.
Best practices. We said that at the beginning of the call. Best practices is our job. The digital space is very crowded. You have a lot of options. We talked about like my man, Joe Hughes. You could hire him. He'll train up your whole team, get them set up. You can go to some of these other guys that run. You can go to Nick and get your commercials. So like there's a lot of options, digital strategy, online lead gen, where there's not a lot of crowded spaces like 36-year-old guys balding, swearing, smoking on the internet, getting really hyphy about direct mail. My side of this, outside of the fact, we don't have a ton of competition, but I believe in this, dude. We talk about my cleaning company earlier, right? Bro, I was sending 100,000 pieces of direct mail a month to grow that business. I've been through the pains. I've been through the struggles. I understand the shit. I own the contracting company. I get the side of it, of how many minutes you have in a day, how many hats you're wearing, all the shit. What I saw is that these guys that own print shops, these fat 70-year-old dudes who suck at golf, who fucking were been printing money for years, whose kids don't want to work for them, they didn't pay attention to the fact that in that print shop, those things are computers and they talk to each other. It's no longer the days of you got to spend $10,000 to blast out a direct mail campaign to pray to God that it works, that you set your shit up right, that you're going. No minimum order, laser focused direct mail on behavioral data. I want to know if you moved. I want to know if your neighbor did something. I want to know what your temperature. If you put 10 guys in a room that are 30 to 40 years old and they have 2 kids, they drive a Tahoe, they've been married twice, they smoke cigarettes, and they got a Corvette in the garage, 7 out of 10 of those guys, if you put a financial decision in front of them, are going to make the same fucking decision. So let's look at predictable human behavior. Traditional marketing and intimacy. Go back to the Home Depot shit. You got to check the boxes. We don't do everything at my business, but there's a lot of people that can help however your business works, and not a lot of businesses like ours that complement it in the way we do. And that's what we try to focus on, the communication around how all these things tie together.
Knowing your customers and their behaviors, right? I mean, that's the biggest thing. And then being very targeted based off of that, right? Really understanding who you're trying to speak to, right? And what you're trying to achieve. So it's just intentional. Go ahead. Being intentional. Yeah. I like that one a lot for sure. But no, man, you guys are doing some awesome stuff. I mean, we had Alan on in the beginning. He said that he's trying to get people's, I think it sounds like you guys are doing the direct mail for him. And then boom, they get the postcard, QR code, you get a sweet custom video, right?
Well, what we're doing with Just Shared Media is crazy. So
that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, dude, they put together they got the templated videos, they got custom packages, all types of different ways, like entry-level ways to get the videos. We create the postcard campaign around the videos, and when they scan the QR code, you tailor the video to be a convert. Yeah, dude, it's powerful. Very, very powerful.
A lot of opportunity there. And we like I said, we had him on. Great dude, came from the roofing space. Him and his dad were in the restoration space. He saw a problem, right? He saw a problem in the space, and boom, he's going in and he's solving that problem. So quick question though on how you got into direct mail. Did that start? Were you doing that at Line Chair Maintenance? You kind of saw the potential there, or was it?
Yeah.
How did that kind of come about?
Yeah. So you look at what do we say earlier in the call? Success leaves clues. And so when I started my business, I was just on like the forums, the Facebook. I mean, this was like 12 years ago. It was before Facebook got super heavy with groups. It was like the forums, logging in, like old school looking, whatever. These guys, I'm like, where do I want to be? I want to be doing over $1 million a year, which like cleaning companies to roofing companies, $1 million is 10x. So $1 million cleaning company is a $10 million roofing company. A cleaning company now does a couple million a year. So relative for the understanding of the story. As I'm starting off, I'm looking at the guys that are doing $1 million cleaning company or $10 million roofing company. I'm like, what are these guys doing? Like, where do they spend our most valuable currency is our minutes. Where are these guys spending their minutes during the day? And so I started looking at like, I want to get off the truck. I want to be doing bids more. I don't want to be doing the work. Because I was doing the work when we started our business. It's like, okay, these guys are sending direct mail and they're getting slick. They're doing they call them unsolicited bids. So you'd go to like shopping centers and shit, find like dirty commercial buildings. Everyone wants more commercial work, right? Residential, you kind of get your marketing down. That's tied in. But commercial, I saw real quick when I started doing some slick shit. These guys would find dirty buildings and they would put a proposal together, and then they would find the information of the property manager, the hotel, the whatever, and they'd send them the proposal unsolicited bidding and say, hey, you got a problem.
Really?
And then they go into a follow-up process. These dudes would take like you ever heard of the candy jar method? They'd go in and they'd bring a candy jar into the property manager office. And then once a month, it's got like their shit engraved on it, on the candy jar. And once a month, they'd come back in and fill it up with candy. They're not selling. They're not doing. So I started doing it with, I got these real.
That's pretty funny.
I got these dope Post-it holders that were like engraved, the big ones. They got the Post-it and then the little tabs on them and shit with our.
Yeah.
I'd drop them off at the office and be like, yo, Karen, I'll be back once a month. Fill up your Post-its, girl. Like, I got you.
Oh, my gosh.
So then I start seeing the bids. And remember the Nextel chirp on your phone?
Yep.
So Voxer gives the same as the Nextel chirp, right? Like, chirp, 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 whatever. Bro, I used to find strip malls and commercial properties and shit. I'd throw on a safety vest, fucking hard hat. I'd find in the strip mall, like you got like Fantastic Sam's, Subways, and then like some local businesses. So local businesses, I'm like, they're not fucking with me. But there'd be like a Subway or a haircut place or something, franchise. I'd go in, I'd be like, on the Voxer, chirp, chirp. Bob, hold on one sec. I'll be right back. Ma'am, I need to talk to the manager. I need the contact information that's got the water access. They'd give me the property. I wasn't lying. I told them the shit. We need the spigot or where it's at or whatever. So I get the property manager's info and I'd mail them my unsolicited bid. I'd see what these guys used to cold fax this shit, Nick, back in the night. They put it through and spam the fax machines. So I'm watching what they're doing. I'm like, okay, that's where I got into those handwriting machines, because we used to sit down and handwrite all this shit and get into it like super deep. So we're doing the solicitation and I see like how the mail is working for commercial. And this is right around when Every Door direct mail came out, EDDM. So there's a difference with direct mail and EDDM. Direct mail is buy a list, get a list, curate a list. You have a mailing list of name and address that you're mailing to. That's direct mail. You have a certain, you can send anything, but you have a postage rate. A stamp is 58 cents now. You get discounts with pre-sort and shit. But you can mail someone on a list fucking anything. On EDDM, Every Door direct mail, it's called saturation mailing. So in a zip code, there are carrier routes. So the reason you see your same postman, postwoman every day is because the USPS has an algorithm figured out with how many pieces of mail on a carrier route that a post person can deliver in a day. So like in New York, you might have a carrier route that's one building because that person's got to unlock 3,000 boxes.
Wow.
Where in Minnesota, you might have a zip code where there's 6 carrier routes, but a postman delivers to the same 3 every day because in one day you can deliver 12,367 pieces of mail driving around, dropping it. So like there's science. EDDM, when it first came out, you can still do this, but when it first came out, like I had to educate the people at the post office. As Dave, the owner of Lionshare, I learned more about this than they knew at the mail shop. This was 8 years ago. And I had no clue I was going to start a direct mail business, but I was just going through the pains. We would go and pick carrier routes and mail out like 50,000, 100,000 pieces with just an offer, like $50 off one service, $100 off 2 services. And I would see where we were getting the most calls from. That was our main form of marketing. Like I've done every single facet of business and spent millions of dollars sending direct mail before I even fucking knew I was going to open a direct mail business. I had my data business then. We were brokering the mail through different print shops, and I was learning the pains, the production, the tracking, the weight of the piece, the coding. There's all that boring direct mail shit. But we were selling so much data in our data business. That's what's a list if you don't have anything to do with it. So to your question, were we sending direct mail with Lionshare? Yeah, a ton, bro. I went through fucking college with that stuff by accident because what we were going through. But the main thing I really learned to a previous question, Nick, was like the data. You could have the worst list in the world and the best campaign. If your list sucks, that shit's not going to work. You can have the worst campaign in the world and the best list. If your campaign's no good, it's not going to work. So when we go back to that problem solving, it's like, you got to look at your data. You got to look at your design. You got to look at what's working. You're never going to go to a direct mail company and go, I want to try something I've never done before and have the result of you working with that company again being the first campaign. That's not fair. Like if you've never done something in your business, it could go digital too. I want to try to start doing gutter installation, and we've never done it. And I'm going to try a campaign. That first couple grand you spend is not the win or the loss. You got to learn from what worked and what didn't work, pour some more gas on what worked, and identify what didn't work and stop doing that shit.
Pay to test it out. So it'll be worth it. Now, hey, man, I learned a ton today. I appreciate you joining me, Dave. I feel like people got to reach out to you. So if people are interested in learning more about dope marketing, get connected, what's the best way to get connected with you?
Guys, we're easy to find. Like I said, I'm the guy yelling, swearing, and smoking on the internet. Direct mail. You've probably seen our Facebook ads. Dopemarketing.com is going to be we got live chat, man, 24/7. Message us on Facebook. Someone finds that all the time. But type in dope marketing, you'll find us. Any platform.
Perfect, man. Yeah, make sure you guys reach out to him. Appreciate it, Dave.
Absolutely. Appreciate you, Nick.